There are many other operators which are listed over here, and there are even more that are listed on this URL that we saw previously. Now we looked at the dot operator. Remember when you had one particular object and you could do user dot name to get the value of the name key. So that's the dot operator. We saw the brackets operator. So let's say if you had an array and or an object and you wanted to get certain key or certain index value, you would do the array name and the brackets notation and the name of the index, and that you would get that value. Those are considered operators in JavaScript. You saw the type of operator as well, right? Now there are others as well that we're going to look at throughout our course. But for today's topic, what I want to discuss is there are two important concepts in operators, which is called operator precedence and operator associativity. So these are complicated looking words, but they're not actually complicated. To read much more about it, there's a link over here, so I want you to click on it, and you will be taken to the Mozilla documentation, which has a very good description on what they are. So over here, let's just read what operator precedence is. So I'm going to simply zoom in and let's see what it is. So it says operator precedence is given multiple operators are used in an expression, the operator precedence determines which operator will be executed first. The higher the precedence, the earlier it will get executed. So what it means is, let's say we're going to go back to our console over here. And let's say if you are using 2 plus, let's say 4 times 2, or let's say 3. So which operator is going to run first? The JavaScript engine determines which operator works first based on this table, which you're going to find on that link. So you see there's something called precedence. So the higher the number, that means that particular operator is going to function first before the other. So in this case, we use the asterisk or multiply sign. So let's look for it over here. And here it is. So the asterisk sign is actually value or the precedence 14, and the plus symbol is actually 13. So it will operate on this one first and then go on this particular one. So as you saw over here, 4 times 3 is 12, and then plus 2 is 14. So that is how it works. But actually, a very good observation you may have is that the number one precedence is this brackets operator, which is the grouping operator. So if you go back to our cheat sheet over here and see over here, there's a grouping one, which actually looks very similar to the invocation symbol for functions, right? Functions, when you want to run the function, you put the bracket sign next to it. That's a different operator. You know, they look similar, but the way you use it differs, so the JavaScript engine determines which actual operator is being used. So when you provide the inputs in the middle, it will say, okay, this is the grouping operator, okay? So going back to our example over here, so let's say if I want to make sure that this particular thing works first, I can put it in a brackets, and now it's going to do 4 plus 2 first, because this particular brackets operator is going to take precedence because that's number 1 on the list, higher number, and then it's going to do 4 plus 2 is 6, and then 6 times 3 is 18. So that's how it works.